This is what happens when I try to rush things. It never works out. That better? There we go. Alright, is that working now? Here's hoping people can hear me. I can hear me. But then again, you know, I'm weird like that. I have no problem listening to the sound of my own voice. Actually, I have plenty of problems with it. But anyway. Okay, cool. Welcome back, everybody, to Ori and the Blind Forest. And once again, this is a solo stream. So, basically, because of my love for... Of course I died. Because of my love for Metroidvanias, I am playing here, but I'm also chatting with you guys. So, hopefully, I've got a similar setup than compared to last time. So, I'm guessing that it will work, but I'm not sure. And, of course, welcome. Happy... Jeez, what day is it today? Thursday. I had to think about it. I've been rushing the entire time. There we go. All right. Ow! And of course that takes me back. I almost did it again. Okay. And once again, so proud. I'm finally digging out my Xbox and using it. Because it very rarely ever gets used. There we are. Okay. I have to kind of teach myself again how this works. I hope everybody's having a good Thursday. I also have a little bit of bad news to deliver because this will be the last Thursday. No, I'm not getting rid of the stream, but my wife's schedule is adjusting to a much more ideal one. And from there, we will actually be doing Wednesdays because my wife will now work on Thursdays. Your tweet didn't have the link for the live stream, by the way. Oh, did it not? Oh, dang it. Okay. Let me see if I can send that back out and see if it works. Maybe if I edit it. Oh, can I go to this one and... no. I want to edit it. There we go. Let's see if this will do it. This will probably send the link out again, or send the whole thing out again, but that should fix it. There we go. See, this is what happens when I'm trying to do everything last minute. It just doesn't work out. Okay. And now I have to get my phone up and running again so I can see what you guys are saying. Because otherwise, I can't see it, and therefore... No. Resume it. Hello, Sophia. It's good to see you. Yeah, you might get another posting of it, but it will have the link, I think. Like I've told Jiro numerous times, I suck at advertising myself. I could do it for somebody else, but I can't do it for me. Oh, and I'm dead again. It's a good thing I'm not doing a death counter. Otherwise, I'd be in trouble. Boink, boink. There we go. There we are. Screw you. There we are. Okay. Boom. Ah. I have to get used to the controls all over again. That's kind of the downside of doing these games, is like, I wish I could put in more time and have a little bit more practice. But I like the idea of having it blind, so I don't do anything with it. Oh, actually, I don't have that map stone fragment yet. So here we go. Let's resume our journey. Woo! Whee! Can't remember what's over here. Oh, yeah. It's evil Golem Toad. But I want to stay in here because this is where all the stuff I need is. Dang it. Whoa. Whoa. Boing. Boing. Okay. Well, might as well just go down here for a second. I can't remember if I got what I needed here or not. Ow! Fire! Fire hot! Oh! There we go. Okay. So, Link is ready. Oh! Okay, well, you guys are gonna split up constantly. Got it! There we go. Well, we got all that back. Let's resume our emotional journey. Or at least it would be. If everybody hadn't just died. That's green. I wonder if that's gonna play. Oh! Ow! That's a freaking baneling. Let's try this again. Boing. There we are. Oh. There we are. Ding! Oh, come on. We don't have to do this, Jiro. We don't have to constantly count my deaths. It's a Metroidvania. There's going to be a lot of them. I mean, unless I'm, like, really well practiced in them. Like, say, Symphony in the Night or something like that. Whoa. Okay, well, now that we know where that goes, maybe we will instead... Oh. Come on. There we go. Get the mapstone fragment. Maybe I won't worry about anything else. You know, I say that, and then all of a sudden... Ooh. Boing. Aha! I think this will save it, so... We have done it! We have made more map. Find the Ginso tree. Alright, we can do that. So what's your favorite Castlevania? Ho 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 ho. Why must you inflict pain on me, Jiro? Why? Why must you inflict pain? I'm only allowed one? Jiminy Christmas. Nope. Symphony of the Night is probably going to be that. I can always go back to that game and still enjoy the heck out of it. I mean, for crying out loud, I have a lot of favorites within the Castlevania series, so it's a tough pick overall. But if I, like, gun to my head, if you gave me a game that I had to play, like, on a desert island or whatever, Symphony of the Night would be on it. If we're doing kind of a list, ooh, okay. Jeez. See, I don't want this to all be like all of the Metroidvanias that they made, but a lot of them are really good. In either development of the story as well as gameplay. I would also say that Order of Ecclesia needs to be up there. Here's a better way to be able to do it, Jiro. Okay, so... See, I was actually going to go by console. I don't know if that'd be what you want. Let's go with 3 or 5, like you're saying. Symphony of the Night, definitely up there. Order of Ecclesia would need to be up there. I like a lot of what was done there, especially with kind of establishing an era without the Belmonts and stating, like, other orders. Kind of like Circle of the Moon, where you can actually have other people take up the mantle and be able to save the world from Dracula, at least until the Belmonts figure out what the heck is going on with them. Dang it. Portrait of Ruin is also a good one. I would dare say that even though they are really close together, Portrait of Ruin, in my eyes, is a much better story than Bloodlines. Like, outside of the Belmonts. Just to be able to showcase that, yes, somebody other than a Belmont can hold it. I also like the fact that you could swap between, was it Charlotte and Jonathan at any given moment. I used to bug one of my friends going, "Your name is Jonathan, ergo, you are the inheritor of the vampire killer." He'd be like, "What?" Like, never mind. I put Portrait of Ruin up there. I put Order of Ecclesia. I will also give some acknowledgement to Aria of Sorrow. I like Dawn of Sorrow, but I think Aria had an more interesting concept, and Dawn had already kind of had that reveal. So I love the reveal of Summer Cruz being Dracula reincarnated. And so you are technically playing Dracula, and he is the good guy. So, love that. And then also, just because I would want to toss this in, and yes, it's all like Metroidvanias, but Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate. Love that game. It's my favorite of the Lords of Shadow games. And I, like, every couple of months or so, I even go back on YouTube and just find, like, movies of it, just to go through all the big reveals that happen throughout Mirror of Fate. You get to play as, like, 3 different Belmonts. And it's just golden. I love the story development that happened there. Let's see. You know what was interesting? Someone made, like, a Doom-like version of Castlevania. Octopimp played it. Yeah, I've heard of a Doom version of Castlevania. I have not seen it. I have had friends tell me that, oh yeah, Castlevania totally needs to go Doom. I'm not in that camp, but I would love to see somebody make a mod of it, just to see what it looks like. So if you got a link for it, Jira, I will be more than happy to take a look at it. Jeez. And the sad reality is, like, all the games that I just barely mentioned, if you take their initial release into account, they are all handheld games. Because the age of Igarashi was a good one. Sadly, that was during the dark times during when Castlevania was still trying to find its footing on consoles again. I don't think a whole lot of people give Iga enough credit, but he basically kept Castlevania relevant during those times, because when we had the PS2 games, and granted, like, for the fans, they worked, but it wasn't necessarily bringing new audience in there. It was looking like a, for lack of a better term, a God of War, Devil May Cry clone. And frankly, you had a whole new generation of gamers that were much more interested in those stories compared to what had come before. Okay. Let's see if I can kill off all these guys. Oh, and I almost had them all. Dang it. And in fact, I actually had somebody ask me this. Do you think that they could do Castlevania in this day and age? Yes. But Konami would have to want to do that, and they'd have to want to put it in the hands of somebody that might not necessarily tell a story that they would be happy about advertising. Damn it. Okay, well, I don't think that's the way to go, but we're going to keep trying. Because that's what you do. You never give up. I might even also see if I can save after the map shard at the very least. Boom, there we go. There we are. If I had to pick a console entry, oh. Like, during the 8-bit era, it would probably be Dracula's Curse. Love Dracula's Curse. 16-bit era would be, given that I had more experience with it, Super Castlevania 4. I like Rondo of Blood, but it's one of those things where I experienced it later, and so I don't want to put it with all of that. It's just its own thing. Plus, Dracula X Chronicles, in my opinion, adds a little bit more to it and makes it a little bit more appetizing. So, let's see, 32... Well, let's see... Jeez, this is where the divide happens, because Symphony of the Night happened on PlayStation, and Castlevania 64 happened on N64. And I have no problem saying Castlevania 64 left a bad taste in my mouth. That, thankfully, when done later, Lament of Innocence kind of fixed. I'm not going to say it completely fixed it, but since I wasn't necessarily against that gameplay style, I mean, I didn't see a problem. Not like a lot of people did. I love that a lot of people just made the complaint of, oh, they're just ripping off God of War. No. You could almost make the argument that God of War is ripping them off. They've been doing it a little bit longer than that. I don't know. I don't know when the first God of War launched, but let's be honest. Imitation is the most sincerest form of flattery. There we go. Oh. These pustules. Jeez. Okay, we got it. Oh, I think I know what I need to do. Yeah, I think I need to target the Baneling at this area. Dang it. Hey, Atlas. Oh, here's the free mod? Oh, cool. I will check it out. Of the PS2 games, I will say Lament of Innocence is my favorite, although I do hold a soft spot for Curse of Darkness. I like what story-wise it was trying to do. but the pet management system was a bit cumbersome for me at the time. I think these days I'd probably like it a lot more, but we'd have to find that out if I ever can get my hands on Curse of Darkness again. See, that's kind of the sad reality is when Curse of Darkness and Lament of Innocence were happening, I was hooked on the handheld entries. I loved Circle of the Moon, Harmony of Dissonance, Aria of Sorrow. Even though it might not come across as be showing love, I do like Dawn of Sorrow. I like Aria a little bit more, given it was an original idea to have Dracula reincarnated. And not want to be Dracula. That's the other thing, too. And like I said, we've got the usual setup, so if we want to do a live conversation, all it takes is just a couple adjustments for me to get that going. So if you're interested, let me know. There we go. Alright, let me grab this. Yep, can't go that way. Oh, come on. Here we go. Open this up again. Yeah, I can't. Man, it's one of those times where I really wish I had a double jump. So helpful right now. Boing. Boing. Ow! Whoa! Alright. Whoa. Ow! There we go. Holy moly. Ah, here we go. We've done this exact same thing over and over again. Ooh, I didn't think about that. Huh. Whoa! Is it all done? Okay. Nope. Can't blow that. Holy moly. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. My chat is a little delayed. Sorry, guys. It would be interesting to play, like, Mega Man music in the background while playing this. I would love to be able to do that. I don't have the hardware to be able to make that work. But, I am actually working on that. So, who knows? Maybe we'll be able to pull that off, but then I'd have Capcom and whoever made Ori both mad at me. So, maybe that's not a good idea? See, I love the atmospheric music here. A lot of the stuff that we were hearing last week was amazing, and I actually went and looked some of that up on YouTube and just listened to some of the tracks I heard. There we go. Okay, and I can't go this way. No, you can't blow that up. There we go. Besides, a lot of my stuff... How much Mega Man do I have? I have some. I don't have, like, every single track, but I think my library of, like, Final Fantasy and Castlevania are bigger. Just because I love those games a little bit more. But who knows? Because technically Mega Man has a Metroidvania, so... that I haven't played. I'm actually looking forward to it next month. Finally being able to play the Zero series. Ow. Okay. Yep. There we go. Mapstone fragment. Let's drop this off. Really quick. Okay, so... Oh, I'm actually going the wrong way. My bad. Oh, Jiminy Christmas. It would be more if you had Twitch. You can play like Spotify music, no problem there. Can you? Really? That's news to me. I would think that there would still be copyright issues and whatnot, wouldn't there? But then, of course, like, if I could get my hands on on a couple of remixes that have happened from those various games, I wouldn't mind playing those just to give those artists a spotlight. I love a lot of the remixes that happen for 8-bit, 16-bit, and even some modern-day music. I just barely saw a cover that somebody did of... It was like a guitar solo of Bloody Tears, and it was gorgeous. And we're talking electric, not acoustic guitar. Although I'll be honest, I probably would listen to an acoustic version of Bloody Tears, because Bloody Tears is just that great. Yay, it's not going to break my rock. I will take that. Yay! Save my game. Now we're making progress. Now they can let you play music since... let's see. No, they can let you play music since day one. Twitch is really good. Oh, okay. That'd be cool if I could actually make it work. It's just too bad Twitch is just too over-encumbered to actually be able to get an audience there. That's like my biggest worry with going to Twitch is, you know, so many people are just watching what they want to watch that they don't necessarily go out of their comfort zone to watch new stuff. Jeez. There we go. Flame Master. Can I go backward? I can. Oh. So since I've got a couple of anime fans in the chat right now, I'm wondering if you guys heard the news from Netflix. There's another very popular anime that is going to be joining their ranks. Jeez, my hiccups are bad. We'll be covering it on the podcast too, by the way, in case you don't know it. Oh. Ow. Okay. Well, that's a thing. Okay, go this way. This way. Jeez. You guys can tell it's really bad. Yeah. I know what I have to do, I just gotta do it. Oh, jeez. That's the sad reality, because I'm that close. Dang it. They are ruining another anime with a live-action adaptation no one asked for. Yeah? Yeah? Although this time I think they are gonna hit a little bit closer to home, as they are doing a live-action adaptation of One Piece. I will just let that simmer. There we go. And I died as soon as I got up there. What the crap? Yes, I am referring to One Piece. It's official. Monkey D. Luffy is coming to Netflix. Well, in a manner. Okay. There we go. There we go. While Ori brought light and hope to the forest. Others gave in, embraced darkness and fear. Oh, that's kind of creepy. Discovered Gumo. A Gumo from the Forlorn Ruins. We must follow his steps. We must get what he stole. Okay, regain the water vein. Hello, Rising Sun. Thought the water vein, the Ginso tree is closed shut. Okay. Make sure we cover a lot of that ground. Oh, jeez. Hi, Gumo. Can I get past this? Nope. Well, that helped. I wonder what this GRI Gumo is. Ow. Oh, cool. So this was a checkpoint. That's helpful. Supposedly the mangaka is going to be involved, so maybe it won't be total garbage. Maybe? Maybe. I'll give you a strong maybe on that one. It might not be. It just depends on how much they're listening to him. But I think... okay, you guys might have to correct me on this. I think One Piece is owned by Shueisha, right? I'm not sure about Toei, but I think it's a Shueisha property. So at that point, you know, maybe that'll put the fear of God into the Netflix producers. You know, please, you have to listen to the guy. Otherwise, this will end horribly. Ooh, jeez. Those things explode. And they explode hard. There we go. One other thing you guys might have to pardon me for tonight, but give me a second. Sadly, as what will technically happen with being a parent, unfortunately my kids finally gave their cold to me. So, yay. Alright, Gumo went his own way, I guess. Oh. Okay. So we can't go through that door. Let's see. Oh, I need to catch up a little bit. Big maybe. It could be, it could be the just Netflix will use the stamp of approval to get people to watch more horrible live action. It feels like it would be really hard to get a series as big as One Piece to work as a live action. Yeah, Netflix has its bad days here and there. Especially if they try to Americanize it like Death Note, it will fail. Though it's hard for me to get excited about live action adaptations, even if it's a good adaptation, it feels like there's not a reason to watch that when you already have the original anime. Yeah, I mean, all true points. Like, here's the thing. Netflix has done good stuff. Like, for me to deny that Netflix did a good job with Castlevania, I can't say that. They did actually do that. They did a great job with Netflix, or with Castlevania. So much so that I'm excited for Season 3. But they also have little hiccups here and there. I don't necessarily agree with the rest about, say, the Netflix Marvel series. I like them. I like more than others. But it just depends on who you got to run it. If you have somebody that is not going to go in a proper direction, then that sucks. We don't want that. We want to be able to go in a proper direction. And yes, Sophia, it is me. I am the Devil Hunter, I suppose. Even though I'm feeling more like the Dead Hunter. Okay. Nope, can't blow that up either. Can't go over here. Alright, well, I am stumped, but that's okay. I have a feeling I'm going to need to get a new weapon, and that new weapon will be what gets me through that. Okay. Whoa. Whoa. Well, that can go boom. Okay. Can I... Oh, and they respawn anyway, so it's not really like it matters. Damn it. By the way, once again, I've got the Discord up and running, so if you guys want to join me in the Discord and not have to write walls of text, you are more than welcome to. While I sit back and fail at killing really everything in this game. That's fine. There we go. And just for the record, since somebody pointed it out, yes, Ori is Naruto running. Make your jokes here. Whee! Okay, was it just me or did I actually shoot that projectile and hit it? Out of town, so don't have a good mic. Okay, well, all good, Rising Sun. Here we go. Okay. We're just gonna keep going. Yeah, so this is the... See, there's an orb right up there, but I can't reach it. That's the thing. Okay. Maybe unless... No. It doesn't explode that way. This is a touch perplexing. We will make it work, but it is a touch perplexing. Just because I have nowhere else to go. But then again, I don't really have anywhere else to go here either. Oh, alright. Well, one of these has got to work. Ooh, okay. Well, that's helpful. All right. That is a helpful thing to know. I'll jump on Discord in about 5 minutes or less. Okay. I'll join you sometime when I'm back home, though. You are more than welcome to join. I do not care. This is just a game night. I'm having fun playing some Ori in the Blind Forest, and I have no problem sharing the conversation. That's all. I know there are streamers out there that like to hog the spotlight. I don't need to do that. I'm here to have fun. Maybe entertain. That would be a plus. I wonder. Aha! Well, there's our answer. Crap, I skipped over that. I kind of wished I hadn't. There we are. Okay. Having fun playing games is a good way to spend an evening. Exactly. Alright, so now that we've done that... Oh, I get it. Ah! Okay, I think I may have figured it out, but I need to get back there. This is the only downside of this enemy, is that I have to constantly step back and make sure I killed all the bibis. Alright. There we are. Okay, so we know what that does. Not necessarily a big help. I'm guessing that there's going to be some kind of a relic that I'm going to get that's going to allow me to swim underwater. But I don't have it yet, so it doesn't really matter much, does it? Let's see. Okay. Shatter that. Because here's what we basically got to do. Yep, there we go. That's how we do it. All right, keep going. The Moon Grotto. There's Gumo. Oh, you suck. Ah! Oh! Oh, no, really? All the way back here? Mother effer! Okay. That sucked. That's a lot of progress lost. I mean, it's not like I can't replicate it, but at the same time... Ugh. Gotta love having an itchy nose. Thanks, kids. Appreciate it. Love you, too. There we are. Back down here, get this cutscene. Yep, this is Dark Souls with cute characters. Well, I mean, you're the one that's making that comparison, not me. Boom. There we go. All destroyed. Alright, now we learned our lesson. Don't hit the death beams. The beams of utter death and destruction. Okay, so that's where they are. Ow! We also apparently need to learn how frequent they shoot. All right. I'd be very curious on this one too. Like, I have a feeling I know how a lot of people are going to react to the One Piece announcement. Do we actually think that there is an anime, like an action-based anime, that would work in that kind of a formula, like would work in live action? I've heard a lot of people making the justification that Bebop would. I'm not exactly in that camp, but I can see their reasoning for it. I'd be interested to see like what you guys come up with on action anime that could technically work. Jeez. That did it. Well, all I know is that Dark Souls, Drak dies a lot, and he dies a lot here, so they're basically the same game. I mean, it's tough to argue with that. I still remember one guy who was criticizing me, who was like, you should feel a lot more ashamed of your deaths in Dark Souls than you are, because you aren't properly learning. I'm like, I'm learning as best as I can. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Ow. Okay. Sometimes people get it quicker, sometimes people don't. Sometimes people just have to, you know, take their bumps and bruises to be able to properly learn. It's how you get good. And do I feel ashamed of the deaths? The stupid ones. Where I accidentally walk over a cliff. Those I feel bad about. But, like, if I'm really close to downing a boss and he just so happens to get one strike in on me, I don't feel bad about that. I basically learned how to handle the mechanic. And now I have something to work with. As opposed to what I had, you know, maybe 4 or 5 deaths ago. These games are a learning process. Even Metroidvania games. A lot of people think that they're just, you know, rinse, lather, repeat of Symphony of the Night, Metroid, things like that, because those are in the title, or in the genre title. That's not true. I've seen a lot of Metroidvanias with very unique mechanics. I've only seen a few that maybe mirror Symphony of the Night. And I'm talking straight up mirror it. A lot of people, there are a lot of devs just, they want to take that next step. I feel like some of the shorter action anime could work as a Netflix live action. So by shorter, you mean something like Trigun, where it's only like 15, 20 episodes. Oh, I won. Ah! And I lost again. That's what this is going to be about. Is me constantly learning a pattern. Besides, I stopped being embarrassed about failing, like, probably 10 streams in. So I had that realization in my mind of, I'm not trying to be Ninja. I'm not trying to be like the elites gamers, streamers. I'm just having fun. So why do I care if I'm dying this many times? Now, granted, I will get frustrated, but I mean, I get frustrated playing on my own. I just have a higher patience now. There's one guy I would definitely like to bring on a stream because he could probably explain, like, just how impatient I was as a kid because he had to go through it. He's basically my brother from another mother, but he is strictly asked that I not mention him, so I will respect that, but I can't think of a better guy that could explain it. Like, I used to be an impatient gamer. I really was. There we go. Yeah, Trigun or maybe one of the Fate spin-offs that are only around 25 episodes. Yeah, jeez, if you had the CG budget, Blue Gender, maybe? Well, maybe I ought to rethink that. That'd be X-rated, guaranteed. If it was Blue Gender. Jeez, what are some other... Witch Hunter Robin, I still think to this day would work as some kind of a series. Because it's basically X-Files meets Buffy. It's not that hard. Okay. Whoa! That was really close. Dang it. Now I really want to save point, because I don't want to have to do all of that again. If I don't have to. Ah, jeez. Well, I can definitely not make that. Okay. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, yes, save my game. Yay, I did it. Your mic is muted on your Discord. I am in your general chat. Oh, give me a quick second and I will fix that. Is that better, Atlas? See, I can see your mic is muted, but not mine. And I can't unmute you, I don't think. Ugh.
You can hear me, right?
There you are. Can you hear me?
But I can't hear you on Discord.
You can't hear me on Discord. Okay, give me a second. Oh. That better?
Yes, a lot better.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry, it was just I had it on push to talk still. So.
Oh, no wonder.
All right. So let's get into this, Atlas. One Piece as an live action series.
I don't give a shit.
How could they even do a live action series, because CG is going to be used way too much?
Way too much, yes.
How are you going to justify somebody putting a samurai sword in their mouth?
That is going to be tough to... I don't know. I mean, they have the technology to do it. I just don't see how it's gonna perform in the final product. Like,
yeah, well, I don't think tech is the question. I think tech is beyond the question at this point. Yeah. But the bottom line is, should you do it? Especially since, I mean, look, with Bebop, at least there's one concession that I can't make, is that, guess what? The series ended. You know, it ended years ago. One Piece is still active, right?
I'm sure it is, yeah.
Yeah, so at that point, you have a whole other problem. Mm-hmm. And that is that One Piece is still active, so at that point, like, what do you do when you run out of stuff?
Oh, yes.
Which I'm sure would take forever, because they're, 300 episodes ahead? But
oh, I'm sure they are, yeah.
I just can't... The one thing that I don't see as working as well, like, Cowboy Bebop would technically work in a live-action format better than One Piece, because at that point, with One Piece, you have to explain Luffy basically just stretching for everything.
I wonder how they're going to have that mechanic work.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, right? Or how often it'll get used.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like, think about that. he has this gum fruit. So at that point, wouldn't he use it for everything? You know, I know that the series kind of holds him back, and he doesn't really use it until he needs to. But
in the toughest situations.
Are you telling me that a director isn't going to want to just utilize that as much as possible?
Yeah.
For crying out loud, I could see them recreating the whole toilet paper joke in Fantastic Four.
Oh, yeah.
They could totally do that. Hold on. Wait just 1 second. I'm going to raise your volume just a little bit.
Yeah, go for it. See if you can do that. Because, like, I can hear myself on YouTube, and I sound pretty somewhat muted in a way. I don't know. I know my settings is... Let me double check my settings. Hold on. Where is it?
Sorry, because I have the AC on.
Oh, that explains it.
And my ears are kind of plugged. It's getting a little hard to hear you there, Sonny. Let's see. Oh, and hold on, I messed some stuff. I hear Atlas through the stream. Bebop, I feel they could also expand the universe by telling more stories within it. I agree with that. They could technically do that. They could probably expand on a lot of the backstory with Spike, which I know a lot of Bebop fans would want.
Oh, yes.
Netflix will make wonderful new original exclusive content. Yes, they will. Eventually. Kinda, sorta.
Eventually, yes, they will.
Kinda, sorta. Look, Netflix is just as guilty as... Oh, cheat! Gumo! Buddy! Oh, well, I guess you hate me, so... Well, guess I'm fighting you now. So I get to make my point now. Like, here's the thing. They could expand on the universe, and I wouldn't have a problem with them expanding on the universe. But Jiro does also bring up another excellent point. They need to start working on original stuff.
They really do.
Which they kind of are. They have a couple of interesting ideas out there, but not as much as people would probably like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see what Netflix does with One Piece.
I mean, I don't know if you heard my question on this, but I would be very interested. Do you think that there's any action anime, any shonens that would work in a live action format?
Ooh. Honestly, man, I really wouldn't tell you because, like, you see the live action movies like Death Note or Attack on Titan or whatever, and it's like, and you hear it from the fans. You hear it from them that say, "Oh, this is just terrible." To me, that's why I just stick to the original source material when it comes to anime and manga, because I just don't see a lot of animes that can do well in a live action format unless they find a way to make it look good and make it right to please the fans.
Yeah. I do think here's the problem that you run into with shonen.
Yes.
Pretty much, and this also falls into One Piece as well. Anything with special abilities is out, because with the CG you can easily mess it up. Like the Gum pistol could look really, really great one episode, and it could look horrible the next.
Look shit the next. Yep.
Yeah. So that already doesn't work as far as I'm concerned. Or another example would be, oh geez, it's been forever since I watched One Piece, but didn't they have a doctor that was like a reindeer?
Fuck.
Dude.
What episode was that?
So at that point, like, how do you explain him in a live action sense? He has to be CG.
He has to be CG, yeah.
Yeah. With Usopp and Zolo, they're okay, aside from the poor actor that has to hold that sword in his teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's one of those things where he's got to get paid extra. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm sure they're paying him extra.
Yeah. But those are a couple of the examples that make it so Dragon Ball's out. You can't do that. Yu Yu Hakusho, you definitely can't do.
No.
My Hero Academia, which is, I believe, set to get a live action movie. That's hard to do because of the quirks. That's what makes them hard. But if you did a series like, say, Witch Hunter Robin, where that would work, I'd have no problem believing that, because it's basically X-Files meets Buffy anyway.
Yeah.
So you could do Robin.
Oh, let me mute this. Give me a second. Goddamn phone.
I just barely came up with this, and I don't know why I haven't up till now. Because this is an anime that I've been watching recently. Initial D could also probably be done live. Initial D could probably be done live action.
It could be done, it could be done live action, yes.
Because here's the thing. The cars were all CG, and nobody would have a problem with the cars being CG again. And in fact, given the popularity of the Fast and the Furious, I mean, that's set up for greatness.
It is.
So Initial D would work. I was just saying that Blue Gender would, but you know what? I'm going to take that back just because that seems like a series that would be more in HBO's pocket than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, I don't know if that would work. Let's see. Oh, hold on. Full of magical items called filler. I can see them making even more filler episodes of One Piece. Or it could all look like Berserk 2016. I think they did.
Oh, God, yeah.
Jeez, Berserk.
Berserk.
Could you do Berserk live action?
Yeah, with all the.
I mean, you'd have to explain Guts, but
Guts, yeah.
It actually does, like, a Berserk live action series. It kind of makes you think, like, who could they get to play Griffith? Who would be an interesting casting choice for that?
Play Guts, yeah.
Oh, Guts, I've already kind of figured out. Like, I would almost want to put it in, insert. Oh, I mean, Momoa could probably do it. He's got the build.
Yeah.
And all he has to do is shave his beard a little bit. But I'm saying there are a lot of strong guys that could take that role. But Griffith, that's harder because you have to do a little bit more, and you have to have the right guy who just looks scheming
enough to play him. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And that might make it even better. Because really, I mean, I know a lot of people walked away liking Guts, but I've run across way more people that love Griffith out of that show.
Oh, yes.
And for good reason. I'm not knocking you. But Griffith is one of those perfect examples of an anime villain that I'm kind of... No, I'm not surprised, because in my opinion, he got beat out in my 12 Days of Anime by Naraku. Because Naraku is basically him on steroids, because he's a demon.
Steroids, yeah.
Yeah. He's on steroids because why not? Let's see. For Initial D, it might be on Netflix or Amazon. Yes. It's actually funny. For the first time ever, I am watching Initial D on Funimation Now, because Alex actually, as a Christmas gift, gave me and Andrea a year on Funimation Now.
Oh, nice.
So, well, it's nice in so many different ways, because then we can watch Fruits Basket, and then also I don't have to pay Funimation Now in case the app breaks.
Mm-hmm.
So, at that point, it works out for everybody. Young Arnold would do Guts? Oh, are we talking 80s Arnold? Yeah, he could play Guts.
Yeah, 80s Arnold, yes. He can do Guts. I agree.
Oh, gee. Actually, how vocal is Guts? It's been a while since I've seen Berserk.
Fuck.
I don't think he's that vocal.
I haven't seen that show in,
I would say Griffith probably has more speaking than he does. And also the girl probably has more speaking than he does. I'd have to go watch it again. But, yeah, based on pure physique, young Arnold Schwarzenegger could play Guts.
Oh, yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. If it was a speaking role, that's a tougher thing to call, because 80s Arnold, that accent was really thick.
It sure was.
Like, it's tolerable now, because he's been subjected to American society for years. But, yeah, 80s Arnold, not so much, and his Austrian accent kind of shines through.
11, so why not?
What was that?
He's in Mortal Kombat 11, so yeah, he's still there.
Oh yeah, that's right, because they did him as DLC.
Yep.
And it's hilarious that they did him as DLC. Especially in the fact that you got a bunch of people doing reactions to him bringing in a motorcycle or something like that to run him over.
Yes.
So it's like, oh no. Guts talks a bit. Yeah, well, yeah, that's where Arnold kind of runs out, is because he's got to be able to have that stiff accent. Momoa, I'm actually liking that a lot more because he kind of has the burly accent that Guts needs to have. Oh, jeez. Oh.
He died.
Oops. Yeah, Momoa has that burly accent that would work for Guts. So I think that's our casting. Jason Momoa has to be Guts. Griffith. Oh, jeez. That one. Like, part of me wants to go with Hiddleston right off the bat. Tom Hiddleston would do wonders with that role. But I'd almost want to hold out just to see what people like Joaquin Phoenix would do. Kind of thing. Because you have to be that subtle manipulator. And we don't have to worry about the green hair because that's going to be a wig. Ah!
You fell to your death.
I did. You suck, Gumo. All right.
Well, gotta climb the ladder all over again.
I played enough Mortal Kombat. I'm used to it.
I was gonna say, isn't there like a restart button on that game?
A restart button?
Yeah, like if you pause it, you're able to restart the level or restart from your checkpoint.
I don't think so.
Probably not. No.
No, there's just a resume button, but
Fuck that.
we don't need that. We already know unpause works.
Yeah.
If you're playing games and you don't know how pause works, go take up knitting. Because at that point, I don't know how I can help you. Jeez, other series that might work in that kind of a format. I know somebody's going to bring it up. Either Reign the Conqueror or Aeon Flux. Yeah, they probably would. I would not do Aeon Flux. Because Aeon Flux has had its time. And its time was weird and warped and misshaped, and you should all feel bad for liking it. I just irritated a bunch of people, and yet I kinda don't care. I watched those shorts just like everybody else did. Yep. Shorts are good. The series was crap. The series was so full of itself, it couldn't actually understand its own jargon. I know that you're talking with someone, but hold to feel better is soup and water. Yes, well, I'm trying very hard. Have you ever played Yakuza 0, Drak? I have not played any of the Yakuza games. Not because I think that they're going to be bad or anything like that, but I looked at Yakuza and immediately just kind of assumed it's probably like a GTA. And here's my problem with GTA. There's nothing for me to do in GTA.
Not even on GTA 5? You don't care about the casino DLC?
Let me ask you an honest question here, Atlas, and then you'll kind of get my point. Is there a way to play GTA ethically?
Now here's a question for you. Why do you want to play it ethically?
That's what I like to do in games.
So you're not like a huge fan of the open world, sandbox style kind of games?
Not based in real life, no.
Nah.
That's kind of the problem, guys. Okay, GTA, here's what I would be doing, because like the game encourages you to go on bank heists and everything like that. And I'd be like that one guy who's like, okay, I just barely got out of jail. Let's make myself look like a better, more contributing member of society. And therefore, I am doing everything that I would have done in real life. How is this a new and interesting experience? That's kind of my issue with GTA, is there's a reason I go for things like Ori or Spider-Man or stuff like that. I real life is boring to me. Aside from like being able to watch my kids grow up, real life is boring. So at that point, why would I want to go and play real life? That's why in a lot of cases why Call of Duty doesn't work. It's like, oh, dealing with real-time events. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's all just reimagining shit.
Yeah, true. But if you gave me a choice between, say, like Halo or Call of Duty, I would pick Halo, because at least with Halo, I know it's kind of a surrealist, or it's going to be a fictional setting.
Oh yeah,
It's going to be out of nowhere.
The problem is, I fucking hate Halo right now. I just don't like 343 Studios. They're terrible.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
I've played
Bungie
I played like halfway into one, and I got to a level that I just couldn't complete on my own, and then I gave up. I was just like, you know what, this isn't worth the pain.
Yeah.
I can't remember all the details, but it was like a level where I had to go follow this oracle thing around and listen to him tell the history of, I think they're called the Flood.
Oh, the Flood, yeah.
And so at that point, it's just like, okay, well, and then I kept, either the oracle would die or I'd die. And so, hence why I don't like escort missions. And also why I kind of gave up. I'm just like, dude, this is already raising my blood pressure. Is it worth me playing just to see what might end up looking like a Starship Troopers kind of story? And to this day, I haven't gone back to it, even though I've had too many friends recommend, oh, you should at least play through the trilogy. You should at least play through Halo 3. You could forget everything else after Halo 4, but you should at least play the trilogy. Like, but if the other games aren't good, then why would I even bother? Because they're good! Well, I got your point, but... Did it again. I did it again. Mercenaries is a good GTA-like game, but like stealing tanks and other stuff from the bad guys.
Ah, Mercenaries.
I will tell you the only sandbox game that I would probably enjoy, and that is Saints Row.
Saints Row's great.
Because Saints Row is like you're in the Matrix. And ergo, you can literally do whatever you want to kill everybody. It doesn't matter. And I think in like 4, you're the like they literally make you the president in the game. And so it's just like, oh, yes, let's go ahead and give the player absolute power. See what they do with it.
Yeah.
So that would probably be one that I would enjoy, but most of the sandbox games that I play are fantasy or sci-fi. Or superheroes. I consider the Assassin's Creed games to be sandbox. And up until about 3, I was enjoying them.
There you go.
I haven't played 4 yet. Well, I haven't played 4 all the way through yet. Let's put it that way. I'm still not sure if I want to.
I moved the mic over to the TV so I can flip on the PlayStation.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
And by the way, I took your advice and looked up Gran Turismo Sport, I think is the one that's on PS4.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm probably looking for. Like, it's got... I mean, granted, it's got a lot of really great cars, but I just want really great scenery. And from what I was seeing, both it and Forza, which I guess is the Microsoft version...
Yeah. Now, if you want like really good scenery with like mountains and shit, or just whatever you want to see, I would recommend Forza Horizon.
Yeah.
Horizon's really, really good. Like, I've not played it, but I've seen people play it, and it looks really, really good.
But that's more what I'm looking into. I could care less about the cars. I mean, would I like to be able to drive around in a Porsche? Sure. Who wouldn't?
Of course.
But I don't need to have that. I want really good scenery to jump around in.
Yeah.
What's this I got?
I love the GT series a lot because not just the games in general, but just racing in real life, because you have car racing and all that stuff, and hell, they went through Spa 24 hours twice, and I love anime, and why not?
Yeah.
Anime's great.
Oh, I saw Jesse. I'm guessing you're talking about Jesse Cox, Jiro. Jesse Cox plays Saints Row when they were stuck in hell. That was pretty funny. Okay.
Oh God, yeah.
welcome to hell. Here's your sandbox. Go ahead and hit everybody with dildo bats.
Oh, dildo bats. Yeah.
Sega Yakuza games, and these character in Yakuza 0 are Japanese, is a main character, is Japanese, and there's no English subtitles. Okay. Here's the thing, Sophia, you're not the first person to recommend the Yakuza games. I don't know, maybe. I've got such a big backlog right now. Do I really want to add more to it?
Oh, that's Gunfight Coasting. What is this?
That's the thing. Like, as much as I want to be able to play games like Gran Turismo, if it has a story mode, I'm screwed. Because they're like, oh, story mode. Okay, well, let's see what the story's like. And then I never get sleep. Because I must finish the story. If you present me a story, I must finish it. That's just the way it goes. Except for Need for Speed, because, well, Need for Speed is basically Fast and Furious.
Yeah, that's what it is nowadays. Underground, to me, Underground was the best out of all the Need for Speed.
Oh, yeah. Like, the one I got the most hours out of was Underground 2.
Underground 2, yes.
Yes, because I actually missed Underground 1, and I got the Underground 2 game on PS2, I think. And it was great. Like, you know, the car customization was great, but also just the different racing types. And the fact that I wasn't bound to, like, all of the racing types. I could just do what I liked doing and still advance the story to some extent.
Right.
Because, like, I sucked at drag, and I also sucked at drift in that.
Oh,
and so at that point, I could do circuit races and still make up for that. Dang it.
Oh,
Ooh.
there you go. That's nice.
There you go. Well, let's go ahead and do this again. But yeah, I love that. Like, because the other reason I think I liked it was because at that time, Fast and the Furious was not in its 6th movie, and therefore getting very tiring. And at that point, you know, they still were telling interesting stories with that. So Underground was not a tough stretch.
Right.
Oh, jeez. That's probably about as open world as I got, was Need for Speed in those days. Like, I played GTA up until about Vice City, and then I stopped. Alright, well, this is going to take some trial and error. Yakuza 0 is pretty fun. I think you would like it because it doesn't always take itself seriously. What? The Yakuza games don't take themselves seriously, but it's based on the Yakuza.
Yeah, the Yakuza is a very powerful mafia in Japan.
Well, what I'm saying though is that if it's just another mafia game, it would be taking itself seriously, right? And you're almost making it sound like it's almost a parody game.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that it's beyond what Sega can do. They can do parody. I'm okay with it.
Yep.
But I always thought that those were like, you know, basically the GTA games. Go get ingratiated with the mafia and go kill people. Or go rob stuff, or, you know, stuff like that. Are you saying that it's like a parody? If so, I might look it up. You know, like, if it's making fun of the Yakuza, that might be funny.
Is that Jiro saying it, or is that Sophia?
That is Jiro saying it.
Okay. See, Jiro, this is why you need to be in the chat with us, man, because it would be awesome if we can just have you on Discord and not have to read your text all the time.
He's always got an invite. Especially since I know he's done some videos in the past, so.
Yeah.
But then I would hear his voice and he would be constantly pestering me. You've got to do this right in the stream track. You just got to do this the right way. And if you don't do this the right way, I'm going to smack you.
He's a great teacher. He'll teach you good ways of making good videos.
Yeah.
And how to present, you know?
Mm-hmm. Funny stuff happens, like you get drunk one time and you end up fighting a bartender, or you play pachinko. So Shenmue, but you can get drunk?
I just shot the guy in the freaking dick.
Welcome to my world.
Yup.
Watch my Let's Plays. I do that chronically. It's to a point where I genuinely feel bad at times, but...
Oh, yeah, same here.
But at the same time, it's just like, well, that's what was in my way.
Yup. Wow, I just got shot in the face. Okay, well, that's fine. Go ahead. We're still in the lead. Doesn't matter.
There we go. And now we open up a new door.
New location. Hooray.
Maybe. Whoa! Oh, no! That could have ended horribly. And that could have blown up in my
Not a good way to
face.
end the night.
What was that?
Not a good way to end the night.
No, but I mean, granted, most of my nights end up in a death fest anyway, so... Yeah. What else is new?
I got first blood, bitch. Ow, ow,
Whee!
ow. Never mind.
Somebody's going to be watching this for the first time going, are you guys playing 2 games at once? That's confusing!
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's playing Metroidvania. I'm playing Modern Warfare.
Oh, good luck with that.
Oh, yes.
If you can
Dude,
play multiplayer, more power to you.
What's up?
If you can play multiplayer, more power to you.
Oh, dude, multiplayer is fantastic on this game. Dude, gunfight is freaking amazing.
I'll take your word for it. Multiplayer in COD might actually piss me off.
Drak, if you bought the game for PC or Xbox or PS4 and we crossplay, dude, I will rank you up faster than you can beat the first level on any game.
We'll see. I think I'd have a lot more fun racing in Gran Turismo than that.
Oh yeah,
but
we'll definitely do
that's
some
me.
racing.
An ancestral tree Liru lay here. She was swift, agile, and used to cut through the air.
I need to fucking stop going
Okay.
down that section.
So, oh, absorb the light. Absorb it. Come on, little Ori. You can do it. That's what happens when you absorb too much light.
Yeah, way too much light.
You've learned double jump. Damn right.
Yeah, might carry that. Fucking
Now this is a Metroidvania.
It is, yeah.
Now that I have jump security, yes. Or how did my friend put it? Jump insurance. That's what it is. It's jump insurance.
Oh, the 3v3's gone. That kind of sucks.
Okay. There we are. Oh, hold on. Let's see. Hey, Drak, ask your friend you're talking to on the mic. Who you're... Oh, okay. So ask your friend, Drak, ask your friend who you're talking to if you can disease a fan Yongye Glorygeist. I'm guessing Sophia's asking if you're a fan of Yongya or Glorygeist.
Never heard of either of them.
Yongya is big in the gaming community, so like he does a lot of gaming journalism and calling out game companies on their crap.
Oh, okay. I think I might know who you're talking about.
I will say, like, there are times where I've agreed with Yongya, but most of the time, like, I'm 50-50 with him. Like, I agree with one part of his opinion, but not all of it.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I don't know if he's covered Warcraft 3 Reforged, but I would be very interested in what he thought of it. What?
I'm turning the volume up. Hang on. Okay. All right, you're good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm not sure what he thought about the Warcraft 3 Reforged situation, but I'd be very interested in it. Some guy wants to fight, so you get good enough to fight him at full strength, and he shows up in random places like you infiltrate an enemy Yakuza, and he's one of the bodyguards. Okay.
There was a Sega game that just came out last year, and it was a super long game, but it looked really good. It's called Judgment, and it's like a Yakuza, but you're more of like a detective that works to solve like this murder that went down, and it's like a very, very long game. It's like 19 to 20 hours. Like, it's a big game.
20 hours isn't that bad, but yeah, it's a big game.
Oh yeah.
That's like that's almost the length of an Uncharted game. That's basically what I'm saying as comparison.
Yeah.
It's an Uncharted game, so that's good to me anyway.
Oh yeah.
Ah! Damn it. Okay. Well, I made all that progress only to lose it. That's all right.
Yep, only to lose it.
That's all right.
Good thing it's not Demon Souls.
What was that?
Good thing it's not Demon Souls.
Uh,
Because Demon Souls, once you die, you lose all of your shit.
well, no, Demon Souls works on the Dark Souls engine, so if you die, you can get it back, but if you die again, then you lose it permanently.
Yeah.
So, it's like one of the... But then again, there are so many indie games now that work on that engine anyway. Because, like, Shovel Knight, I love Shovel Knight, and it works on a system like that. Jedi Fallen Order works on a Dark Souls-based combat engine, but it's, in my opinion, a little bit more forgiving.
Yeah. Fallen Order's pretty good.
Fallen Order is pretty good, but it I can't just say it's a Dark Souls ripoff because it incorporates a lot of things from other genres. For crying out loud, it has Metroid Prime's map system, so...
It does, yeah, which is so good.
I will say
really
they
want
incorporate it
Prime
better.
Yes, well...
Oh, cool. Energy Soul. Alright. So, there we go. And now I'm back out here. Yay!
Hooray!
Hurry! Okay. I'm in Gumo's hideout again. Oh! Insert the map stone fragment! Oh, I don't have one. You suck! I have to run all the way back. Just why not?
How long are you going to play tonight, Drak?
Let's see, what time is it? So, probably gonna go till like 11:15 or so. That's kind of when I got on.
There you go.
So 3 hours is actually a lot of progress in a game. A lot of people don't kind of knock on it. I mean, I'm not Maximilian where I'm putting in 6 hours in one night, but
Exactly. There you go.
but if I did that, I'd get no sleep.
Yeah.
And that would be a problem dealing with kids the next day.
Oh boy.
Oh, especially with kids who have colds.
Yeah, and they're giving their cold to you, so that's a problem.
And my wife. So like she gets to go and do a 12-hour shift tomorrow. So that's not fun.
Oh shit.
And she's a nurse, so it's not like she can get out of it. The doctor will just say, "Oh, come see me. I will give you what you need. And therefore you can do your 12-hour shift."
So you can get that nice fat paycheck.
Exactly. But like I said earlier, so unfortunately this is the last Thursday that we will be doing this because this stream is going to have to move to Wednesdays from here on. Given that my wife's schedule literally this weekend changes. And it actually changes to be better, but it means that now people will have to get used to a whole new day when it comes to my stuff.
Let's get that kill. Yeah, I sure did.
There we go. Ah. That's how you get rid of that. Okay. I'm learning.
I don't know why.
Foiled by Mega Man spikes, yes.
Wow,
Okay.
he just took me out.
I'm not trying to force you to play DMC, Devil May Cry, and Virgil's Downfall, but just take your time with these games we are playing. We will get to it. I promise, Sophia. We will get to it.
Sophia must be a big Devil May Cry fan.
Yes. Sophia's been making a very big push for us to play DMC, the remake. And I'm going to play it, but I really want to get Andrea all the way through Devil May Cry 5 first before
I just shot the guy directly in the back of the head.
Ew.
God, I'm so good at this game.
There we go. Oh, no. Never mind.
And the
There
other
we
guys
go.
are talking mad shit when I got the...
All right, there we are.
Oh, man. Now we are in a 1v1 situation.
Yes, you are. I'm taking your word for it, is what I'm saying.
Yes. And we are going to win, so it doesn't matter.
Haha. See, the one shooter that I enjoy above all else is Overwatch. That one is just silly enough for me.
Overwatch, yes.
I don't need to be part of the Overwatch League. I can just have fun with it.
No, just have fun and enjoy it, dude. That's what I am, and I just play games. It's fun to play with your friends, and like you really don't have to make a big deal about it, you know?
Nope. There we go. Yeah, I mean, for most of my life, it was playing with my siblings. So at that point, like
Yes.
a Sunday night where we're all just playing one game and watching the story unfold, that's a fun night to me.
There you go.
And it always
That
has
was-
been. So
That was how me and my brother were, because we would play a shit like, because he had the PlayStation and I had the N4. So every Friday after school, because we would get our homework done, we would play like on PlayStation. We'll take turns playing like Tomb Raider or Crash Bandicoot or just whatever, and then like the next Friday or just whatever day we have free time, we would play like Smash Brothers, GoldenEye, Mario Kart,
Yeah.
Zelda, Perfect Dark.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
For me, like it sounds so. Technically, what was your first console, Atlas?
My first console was the OG NES.
Okay, so you've been around since 8-bit era.
Yeah.
All right, so then at that point, this will probably make a little bit more sense for you. Like Sunday nights, me and my siblings would sit back and play Zelda, or we would sit back and play Final Fantasy, something that could take a number of hours that my older brother had the patience for, and then we could just sit back and watch him.
Uh-huh.
But then on the weekends, that was when Street Fighter came out.
Oh,
And
man.
or that's when the Street Fighter cartridge came out, and we would have like friends from across the neighborhood all making challenges, saying this time they'll beat the grand champion, which would bounce between my brother and one of his best friends very frequently, because they were both really good at the game. And so that's kind of how things were spent, at least in our neck of the woods.
Yeah. You know, it's
So
funny
to me,
because,
games aren't necessarily just like something that you have to get good at. They are an experience that can be shared.
Exactly. That's the way I see it, you know? Like if you wanna play games that focus on competitive and you wanna play for grand prizes and whatnot, I mean go for it. But if you're just one that's casual and you just wanna have fun with your friends or play a single player game by yourself or co-op, just go for it.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
And just because me and my when my brother eventually like moved out, like we kept up the tradition. And so to
Right.
me, like that's the tradition that I will keep up with my family.
Yeah, me and my brother, we still keep up with our tradition.
Like I don't see a reason to discontinue it. I mean, for crying out loud, Andrea, who played a good deal of games, is getting introduced to so much now that she's married to me. And so you can
That
get
is
these
so
whole
good.
new experiences with Resident Evil, God of War,
Resident Evil, yes.
stuff that there's no way her mom would have let her get. There's no way.
Yeah.
And so at that point, he's like, oh, yeah, there's this zombie game that I've never played before that is actually really good and has amazing story, and I wished I would have known about this before. Kind of thing. And so the funniest thing is like one of Andrea's most recent obsessions is, damn it. It's damn it. It's the Resident Evil series.
Oh, Resident Evil, yes.
Yes, because her first experience was 7. And so at that point, she's like, oh, yeah, you've never played these series. I didn't think you'd enjoy them. Do you want to play them? Oh, yeah, I like it. Okay, well then,
Oh,
and
yeah,
then,
Resident Evil 7, dude, it's fantastic.
oh yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Looking forward to 8. Have no problem saying that. It's one of the few zombie games I'll touch because I'm just that invested.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what 3 remake is how it's gonna hold up.
I am gonna
once
have
it's released.
such post-traumatic stress with that game.
Yeah.
I already had plenty of post-traumatic stress from the original. Now you're taking even more restrictions off of Nemesis. Great.
Mm-hmm.
If you play the game hard enough, he can go into your save room.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Let's see. Oh, Nico B, let's play. Yes. We're fans of Nico B. Has he played Yakuza? Maybe I'll check out his playthrough and see if I get interested in it.
Yeah, good idea.
That would actually be a good idea because watching a Let's Player that you love playing it can sometimes get you in the mood to want to try it out.
Man, this map is not good for me.
That's okay. This map isn't really good for me either. Ah! And I died.
Oh, yeah, you sure did die.
Yes, I did. I sure did. Nobody died better than me. Let's see. Oh, and yeah, this'll work. Boom. Actually, speaking of that, so I'd be very interested in this because you've been taking kind of a noticeable absence from YouTube. So a lot of big questions that we've gotten on the podcast and all that I would love to be able to ask fellow gamers, I can now ask to you.
Sure.
So what's your philosophy on a consumption of a game? Do you just have to plow through it as fast as possible, or do you take your time? Do you try to savor it as much as possible, or do you do a little bit of both?
It really depends on the game. Like, I've watched people speedrun through a game, whether it be old school or new school. I've seen people just play it, taking their time, because they want to 100% the game.
Yep.
And to me, I don't care. I just want to play the game, see if I can 100% it, and then just beat it. You know, I'm not someone that's gonna speed run unless if I'm playing for $50,000 or whatever. You know.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm proud of all these guys that speed runs. And if I remember correctly, I think the first speed run that I've ever came across, and this was back when YouTube was brand spanking new. The first speedrun that I remember seeing was Super Metroid.
Yep.
And that to me is how I think the whole speedrun community for gamers kind of got started, was because of that, and then it just continued on with other games like GoldenEye and a bunch of other cool games that we used to play back in the day. And it's amazing. Like, I've seen people play. Okay, you heard of the Turok franchise, right?
Yeah.
I've seen people play Turok 2: Seeds of Evil, and those levels on that game are just massive. Like, it'll take you like 2 hours to complete like your first mission. And
I believe that.
It's crazy, you know. Like, I'm just happy that that people are finding ways to complete their games a lot faster, whether if they're just taking their time or they're just speedrunning through the game, forgetting certain side quests and objectives that they have to complete.
Mm-hmm.
So,
no, there are a lot of speedruns that even today, like I'll have a lot of fun watching. What's funny about it is, like, you were talking about the beginnings of the speedrun community, and so yeah, it started with a lot of Metroid. And then the funniest part of that also was Castlevania Symphony of the Night also kind of played a factor into that. And then eventually you started to see some speedruns of platformers and of shooters. And I think the next big one was the Tony Hawk games, trying to 100% complete them.
God, I miss Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Those are the
I would
best.
actually say that probably was the first legitimate completionist movement there ever was.
I
or at
agree.
least acknowledged, like acknowledged publicly.
Mm-hmm.
Hence what actually spawns a lot of arguments between me and my wife is like, for her, when you buy a game, you have to 100% it. Like that's how you get your $60 worth. For you and me, that's not necessarily what's required, but for her it is. And so now she actually gets a kick out of watching like people 100% stuff.
Nice. Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm. It works for her, and so at that point, I more than applaud her being able to watch what she wants to do, and then also being able to complete games the way she wants to.
Yeah.
I mean, for crying out loud, like in our first year of marriage, she actually did the completionist run for Donkey Kong 64, which is, I think, still to this day, like one of the biggest collectathons ever. I want to say nothing's good. I want to say nothing's beaten it in sheer amount of collectible items. Mm-hmm. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you release a game that has a lot of content, like right now we're seeing games that don't have as much content these days compared to, let's say, like I got them. What games can I bring up that don't have that much content? I know. Fuck. Because like I read about this on YouTube and other sites, and to me, this is my opinion. If you're gonna release a game that only has half of the content that is supposed to, like Pokemon, for example, with Sword and Field, we only got like half of the amount of Pokemon into the game.
Yeah. And
I'm like, Nintendo, why can't you fit all of the Pokemon that you're gonna throw in there? I mean,
see, for me, I can understand the reasoning behind it, because when you look at it from a realistic perspective, like, not every Pokemon is gonna live in every region.
No.
So at that point, I was okay with it, but the Pokedex didn't make sense.
Oh, the Pokedex.
But I have a feeling the reason that they did it was very similar to how Blizzard approaches flying in World of Warcraft. They wanted you to experience the new Pokemon without having to worry about your completed Pokedex. So,
speaking of Blizzard, I know I'm some flack for this, but did you guys hear about the whole negative reaction to the remake or whatever for Warcraft 3 that nobody wanted?
You're talking about Warcraft 3 Reforged.
Yes.
And it's well deserved.
Yeah.
So basically I have seen a little bit of it, and I've installed and played a little bit of it. It is a downgrade to a 2002 game. I can officially say that it is a downgrade to a 2002 game, and that it was nowhere near what was promised at E3 2018, or not E3, BlizzCon 2018.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I saw was, like, the biggest advertisement that they had for it was, we're going to do all of the epic scenes of Warcraft 3, and we're going to do them in cinematic fashion, and they didn't. They really didn't. They even took stuff out that they'd shown at BlizzCon 2018 and redid it. So at that point, I have no problem saying that I did ask for my refund from Blizzard. I just barely got it today, actually.
Oh, good. Good.
So I pre-ordered it because I liked the idea of it, as long as if they were going to be faithful. But the problem was they weren't.
No, they sure weren't.
I will say this right off the bat, and people might get mad at me for saying it. They put more effort into the Meat Wagon World of Warcraft mount than they did in the actual game.
I agree.
So at that point, Blizzard, and I even said it to them, so they gave me a survey, like, would you like to take a survey and tell us how your customer experience went? And I literally just answered blankly, but then when it says, do you want to add in further comments, I'm like, shame on you, Blizzard. Shame on you.
Like, what are you doing, guys?
For the last year and a half, I have been embarrassed to be a Blizzard fan, and it's decisions like this that make me embarrassed.
That's why I don't play a lot of Blizzard games these days. It's because of the shit that's been going down with them.
Yeah, I've cut down a lot of my Blizzard game consumption. I pretty much have WoW, and that's it. And simply, I have WoW because it's a good stress reliever at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah. WoW, for sure.
Let's see. Remember, the element of waters rest high atop the Ginzo tree. We shall bring back the waters. Let us return immediately. Because, unfortunately, little Gubo died.
Oh.
He died, and it was his damn fault.
Oh, boy.
See.
Okay.
I have a curious question for your friend. Has he played Devil May Cry 5?
Number 5. I've watched people play it, but I have not played it myself.
Are you a fan of Devil May Cry?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Good to ask.
Yeah. Yes. Name me any people on this planet that are not fans of Devil May Cry.
Andrea, up until about a year ago. She never played it. you wanted an honest assessment, and that's the honest assessment. She hadn't played it.
Oh, we lost. That's okay.
She got her first access to it in basically when we started up the live streams.
Yeah.
Because we played Devil May Cry one of those first nights, and she's like, "Oh, this is actually kind of fun. Let's keep playing it."
There you go.
And then she regretted it because then we had the whole fill your dark soul with light moment, which she was not prepared for.
Oh, okay.
See, I was laughing. She's like, "Really? Really? This is supposed to be funny?" I was like, "Yeah, it's cheesy. That's why it's funny."
Yeah.
Now she's kind of forgiven it because she's seen Devil May Cry 3, but that was hilarious to her.
Over to Gran Turismo.
Ah, there we go. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. How's the typos? What? I'm making plenty of typos and mistakes in this game. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, buddy.
It's alright.
Hey,
Yep.
even I make typos.
Ah!
So long.
I get smooshed.
Oh, did you get smashed?
I get smooshed. I get smooshed. Alright, there we go. No, that's the fun part about these streams is that we can just introduce Andrea to a whole bunch of new games. Just right off the bat, and you get to see her genuine reactions.
Oh, that's so cool.
Because these are games she's never played, and probably wouldn't have had the inclination to look them up unless she was married to me. I mean, up until then, she was playing Harry Potter games, and I think the only series outside of like movie properties Andrea was playing up until that point was Kingdom Hearts. That's it.
Kingdom Hearts, yes. It's such a good franchise.
It is. And despite, I've seen some people criticizing it, I do like the Remind DLC.
Oh, the DLC, yeah.
Uh-huh.
It looks really good.
I mean, we got to see the whole revised ending, and that added so much more epic flair to what was already in place, so I was okay with that. And we're right now making our way through the data fights of the organization, and they're all just gloriously hard.
I was gonna say, did you manage to get past one of those fights?
We downed 2 in that stream.
Oh, good.
We downed Larxene, and then we also downed Dark Riku, because apparently, like, we actually looked up a who's hardest list, and Dark Riku was on the list, and we're like, really? Dark Riku? and then we did it, and we're like, oh yeah, this is actually really easy.
Yeah.
This is kind of easy mode. All right, we kind of understand now.
Yeah. All right, we got 6 minutes until the next race, so I'm just going to perform some qualifier laps.
There we go.
Oh, got to restart. That was terrible.
So yeah, just to make sure, your answer to that was basically like you do a little bit of both, but it depends on the game.
Yeah.
See, for me, it's savoring all the way. In fact,
Yeah, savoring it, yes.
part of it's because I'm getting old, and part of it was just because of trying to do that review schedule was insane, and I never want to do it again.
Especially now that you guys are back up and running with reviews, which is fantastic.
Back up and running with what?
Geek news, reviews, and opinions.
Oh yeah, we are back, but one of the reasons that I wanted to stop doing it was because I was not giving enough time to a game to be able to properly wow me. So at that point, can I really judge it as bad if I've only played like 20 or so hours into it?
Yeah.
That's kind of the issue, and the sad reality is that most games journalists play half that.
That is true.
A lot of reputable Kotaku and IGN journalists, they play a game roughly for, I think the highest is like 10 hours, and they get review copies. So they got an entire week to go through the game before anybody else. And they're not paying for it.
Oh, no.
So that's why I go the way I do. But I've just decided, you know what? If I'm going to do this, like if I'm going to give you a worthwhile review, then I might as well play this game all the way through. If it means you guys have to wait a little bit longer, but you get a much more quality review out of it, I don't really see a downside. I don't.
Oh, that turn was not good. Oh, I gotta restart that. That was just terrible.
Because I know that there's a lot of my community that or at least the audience that watches me, that would probably want that more consistently. They want a much more in-depth take than what you would get from insert site here.
Yeah, like IGN, they're whack. GameSpot, they're whack. Who else is whack?
I know for a fact that one of the an indie gamer or an indie game dev that reached out to me last year when I reviewed his point-and-click adventure, he was very happy with the fact that I made it through the game before I made an assessment of it.
Well, good job, man.
I mean, granted, it wasn't a long game, and you know, I've been playing point-and-click since I was 8, so it's not hard for me to get through them. Mm-hmm. But you know, it's funny. He reached out to me. He's like, I will give you a free copy of this game. And I'm like, are you sure about that? Like, if it's crap, I'm going to call it crap. I said this to him in private messages. I was like, if it's crap, I'm going to call it crap. You know that, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, by all means, call it whatever you want. And he was surprised to see the review that he got for it, which was basically me giving him roughly about an A-, B+ kind of thing.
Okay.
It was a good attempt, in my opinion, to kind of recreate the days of Space Quest. And I still, to this day, if I see him like advertising his game on Twitter, I actually retweet it and give him that, because I know that he worked hard. Like I'll go out of my way, because I don't want to be like insert game reviewer here.
No.
I want to give people decent chances and be honest about them. Even if that gets the internet mad at me occasionally.
Yep.
Says the guy that reviewed Mighty Number 9.
Oh,
good.
Mighty Number 9.
Well, I reviewed it good. I like taking all of the controversy out of it. It was a good indie game, and it was a good attempt at trying to recreate the Mega Man formula. But when you take the controversy into it, which a lot of the reviewers did, in fact, some of those reviewers, you know, were paying customers into that Kickstarter, of course you're going to get mad. And of course you're going to want to rip it a new one.
I agree.
But that's why I took the attempt that I did. I did an unbiased review, and then eventually I just made like a secondary video saying, yeah, all this crap was stupid, but I wanted to judge the game on its own merits, not on, you know, what Deep Silver did, and not on what crap, I can't remember the name of the company, but all the stupid stuff they did. Because that's what a game dev really wants. They want their work reviewed. They don't want to be reviewed about how they live their life.
I agree.
Oh, jeez. I have more life. More life to lose. I'm all right with it. There we go. And I swear I'm covering familiar territory at this point. So I'm starting to loop around.
Okay, we got 30 seconds left before the race begins.
So basically what I'm saying is, best waifu, go.
Best waifu, go. Oh, God.
I'm going to get you in trouble. Because there's one thing I've learned about the anime community. There are right and wrong answers.
Yes, there is. There sure is. Now, if you were to ask Shadow that question, you would automatically get the answer.
Yes, he would. That's why it's boring. I know his answer. I don't need to I don't need to ask him what his answer is. I know what it is.
You automatically know what his answer is.
Yes. For those who don't believe me, Homura from Madoka Magica.
Yep.
I don't have to think about it.
It's Homura.
It will always be Homura.
Yep.
He always tells me, like, oh, well, this year had, like, a really good chance of dethroning Homura. No. Be honest with yourself. No. Homura's like Keiko for me. You're never going to dethrone that. Which some anime commenters got mad at me. It was like, how can you like Deku and then you put Go? What was it? Because I did the 12 days of anime and it was like, how can you put Deku on this list, but then you leave out Goku in favor of Vegeta? Because Vegeta's a better character.
Yeah, dude. Sure, he dies a lot, but that's what makes his character a fucking badass.
See, let me catch up on the chat here for a second. Stadia, Google Stadia. That's what's been talking about Young. Yeah, has he been talking about Stadia? Good luck with that.
Oh, Stadia, fuck that.
Atlas Company, Persona 5 and Persona 4 Dancing All Night, and Persona 3 Dancing Moonlight. Persona 5 Dancing in Starlight. Okay. There's a lot of dancing games for Persona. And yet their fan base can't deal with a female protagonist showing 3 feet of thigh.
What a fucking joke.
You saw that, right? The controversy that happened around that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so stupid.
It was retarded. What a fucking joke.
I was like, really? And that pissed off Alex the most.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't. I've already read stories like this, so it moderately pissed me off. But I was like, okay, well, I'm going to rip this a new one. That's fine. But he was actually legitimately irritated.
I would love to see a video on his channel about that situation right now.
I would too. I doubt you'll ever get it.
No, he won't do it.
No, because, like, Persona is just not his thing.
No.
It might be my thing. We'll find out when I actually get to Persona, but that might be a while.
Yeah.
Just gonna go ahead and be honest.
Oh. Okay, let's see how bad I do today.
It doesn't matter if you do good or bad. It just matters that you're going through wonderful countryside in a frickin' Lamborghini.
I know, right?
You're going to a place you'll never travel to in a car you'll never own.
Exactly.
What's the downside? And I'm sure somebody will point out to me, that's very negative, Drak. Who knows? Maybe Atlas one day will own a Lamborghini. Great. Then at that point, I'll just ask, can I borrow it on Saturdays? I mean, that's great.
Well, if you move out to Arizona or California, I might consider you. I'll let you drive it, maybe. We'll see.
But see, here's the problem. That I have to deal with the California or Arizona heat.
Oh, yes.
And so, like, literally the day after I moved there...
Arizona is worse, I'm just saying.
Literally the day after I moved there is going to be the day I die. And there lies Drak, who died of heat exhaustion, and he was only there for 5 minutes.
Yeah. But it does get pretty cold out here, too. Like, this morning, it was like 35
Oh, yeah.
out here in California.
I mean, the coldest that I've ever dealt with is -2.
Damn.
I've done -2. Well, because for a year and a half I lived in Idaho, in farm country.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've done -2, and that's about it. That's the most bitter winter I've ever had.
Oh, that was so close. Almost made that nasty
You know what?
turn.
We're saving right now. And don't forget Resident Evil 3 the remake. No, who could possibly forget Resident
No
Evil
one's
3 the
gonna
remake?
forget.
Well, I mean, I will want to forget after all the post-traumatic stress I get, but it's unavoidable.
I think you're gonna do just fine, Drak. Don't worry.
We say that, and Andrea already wants to do the first one on a stream, so everybody can hear me scream like a little girl. I'd be like, I'm just fine. I'm just fine. Nemesis. I don't like Nemesis anymore. Okay.
One of the guys spun out and then he responded back to the back on the track somewhere. So I'm like way past him.
Very cool.
Yes. Because the guy in front of me that I'm racing against served.
Whoa! That was very close. That could have ended horribly, and it didn't. And I'm so glad. Alright, back to the lily pads of doom.
Oh shit. Oh, I did not mean to hit the fucking cone. I'm gonna get it now. Oh well.
I will say
so
another game I really wish still existed, but I think they've long since ended. Cruisin'. Please bring
Oh my
Cruisin'
god,
back.
cruising. Yes.
If for no other reason than just to have that corny ass voiceover. Cruisin', yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
USA.
If we could get like a remastered or some kind of remake of like all three of the games put together into one.
Well,
I'll buy
okay,
it.
I know of USA and World. What else was there?
It was Exotica.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know Exotica.
Yeah, and there was the one for the Wii. I forgot what it was called though.
Was there a cruising game for the
There
Wii?
was one for the Wii, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
I need to find this now.
Yeah.
Just to say that I've seen it.
I was gonna. Oh, speaking of videos, did you happen to watch the Miku Expo video that I sent you on?
Miku Expo video on Discord. Let me double check.
I sent it to you privately, by the way.
Oh, if it's been privately, probably not, and that's just because the last week or so has been incredibly busy. I haven't been able to get back to private messages for a while.
Oh wow.
So I will watch it though. I will promise you that.
Yes.
I will try and get to it before the podcast tomorrow.
Or during the weekend.
Something like that. But I will keep you posted on it. Why? What exactly was in it?
It's an entire concert Miku Expo event.
Okay.
So that way you'll get an idea of like what it's about and why it's popular.
By the way, so you're a fan of Miku and all that stuff. Maybe you could answer this for me. Apparently, there's a whole genre of YouTubers that are basically like Miku, where it's a character, but like it's adapting to you in a weird.
Yes, like basically, okay. Every character that I've known so far, they do have their respective voice actors. Okay.
Okay.
You have to have voice actors to give these characters a voice. It can't just be a regular piece of crap computer that just reads you subtitles all day.
Yeah.
So like with Miku, for example, when you're a creator, by having her voice banks and the Vocaloid software synthesizer program, you use her to create lyrics for whatever music you want, basically. So whatever words you type, like in English, she'll pronounce it in English. And sometimes it works, depending on the song. Sometimes it doesn't, and that's why you have to kind of fiddle around with the words, and they're done like in acronyms. So like if you were to spell welcome, it's going to separate into two words. Like it's pretty cool. I have the software. I'll show you. But you can change the rhythm of pitch. You can make it dark and evil like. You can make her like growl.
Well, but
You can make her
wasn't there a
whisper,
whole thing where
mumble.
like YouTube banned a bunch of these things?
Not really, no. Because one, it's your music, and you have the right to upload it to your channel because the song that you make with the software is your property. Because Japan is like when it comes like let's also use merchandise as an example. Japan, in this case, like Krypton Future Media, they're pretty their rights. So if you want to draw something that involves like and you want to publish it through Krypton, you can publish like T-shirts of Me Too. You can publish, wallets. You can publish keychains, just anything as long as you make it yourself. You don't want to steal images off of YouTube or off of Google or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then because Krypton will look at it before they say, okay, we'll let you publish it, but we get half of the paycheck.
Okay.
Because you're using Miku's face and characteristics. Now, the other system, not just Miku herself, but there's a program called Miku Dance. Okay. And now what that is that it's a video software that allows you to use Miku and her friends to dance the way you want them to dance, because you have to program it when okay, for example, say you have a very popular song, right?
Okay.
And then Krypton calls you and says, oh, hey, we want to use your song for one of our concerts, if that's okay. So when the concert comes along, you have to collaborate with other creators as well to help, because they can help you create like dance moves that would fit with the song for Miku and her friends, basically, like because there's also duets as well. You can use more than one vocal. So like if you have Luca or Ren and Lin sing with Miku, you can do that as well. And it's amazing. It's a lot of fun, I love going to events.
Already, this sounds way too confusing to me, but that's all right.
It is. It's a confusing process, but but
I mean, I like the creative end of it, but
yeah.
oh God, no! I died. I died in the Ginso tree.
Why am I fucking hot all of a sudden? What the fuck?
I was just a little shocked when somebody brought to my attention. Apparently, like, there's a Vocaloid genre on YouTube where like they will do Let's Play reactions with this Vocaloid,
yeah.
and apparently that violated YouTube's guidelines somehow, and they like outright banned a bunch of channels that were doing it.
Now, were they like Miku songs in particular, or just?
No, these were like Miku-esque characters where they were adding voice over it, and then it wasn't even music. They were reacting to memes on YouTube or trailers for games, or doing Let's Plays with them.
Yeah, because part of it is Sony is also involved with some of these projects, and that's another story, because some of the creators have partnered with Sony to license the music as well. So that is another issue, and Sony is very protective of these creators when it comes, because what? Let me figure this out. Hold on, because I know Sony has some involvement with Krypton and Sega and a few others, I think, within the Vocaloid community, because there's so many characters out there that are made by these companies, and if you hear noises, it's just me moving stuff back over to the computer.
Oh, you're
Bear with
good.
me for a second.
I'm keeping people occupied with my fail in this tree, so it's
That's
it's
okay.
all right.
You're doing good, man.
Ah, damn it! You say that, and then I did, and then I died.
That's okay, man. You're good.
Don't compliment me, damn it!
Hey, I'm trying to cheer you up, man. Okay?
That's like the Game Grumps philosophy is as soon as Aaron starts failing really bad, and so Andrea starts doing it with me too. It's like negative reinforcement.
Reinforcements, yeah.
Yeah, so she's just like, oh, well, you totally suck. She's like, Andrea, that doesn't help. I'm not Danny. All right.
I'm just happy that, you and her get along so well, and you yell at her.
I mean, look, I don't mean to shatter hopes and dreams. We are a married couple, so we'll have those moments where we don't get along. But for the most part, I'm very happy that they don't happen that often.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. We can usually resolve stuff before it gets to a fight, so that's definitely helpful.
Yeah.
But I promise, not every I've actually gotten this on podcasts. Like, you guys are too happy. Well, not everything is sunshine and rainbows. All right.
Yeah.
We do have our issues.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm
there. You go. You
back where I was. All right. No.
I'm just curious. What background is that on?
What do you mean? Oh, on the screen that's showing it?
Yeah.
I found an Ori in the Blind Forest wallpaper.
Oh, nice.
And so it's my PC wallpaper.
Nice.
Here's the harsh truth of it all. Like, a lot of people think that there's a lot of movie magic to this. The reason he can see a live feed is because he's watching my XSplit.
Mm-hmm.
He's watching my XSplit feed, so at that point it's live. Whereas you guys get it a couple of seconds later, he's getting it live, so he can react to the deaths like they're where they're happening.
Mm-hmm.
That's why in a lot of cases I love that we're able to pull this off, and frankly, because of it, I think a lot more collaborations might be possible.
Yeah, we got to get more YouTubers and just people in general in here.
Well, here's the thing is, so I'm actually looking to open up the podcast as well to be able to do interviews with YouTubers. I'm working out the software.
That would be so great. That could open your podcast even more.
Exactly. And so at that point, I'm still working out the kinks because here's the thing. A lot of my stuff is physical. I actually need virtual hardware to be able, or software to be able to record somebody else coming through my speakers. Mm-hmm. So we're making that work out, and then at that point, we could do interviews with, say, like, I don't know, BB's World. Where her and me are worlds apart, and so getting us together is really, really hard. Well, that solves it. So we can get together and it won't be that difficult, and we can have some fun in the meantime.
There you go.
So it all works out, and that's kind of the biggest benefit of this, is that the sad reality is, guys, these interviews probably won't make it to YouTube, but they will go to my RSS feed, which means my audience there will be able to hear you as bonus content, and they will be able to look at your content because of that.
There you go.
So, because here's the main reason that I'm not doing this on YouTube, and who knows, maybe I'll do the interviews on YouTube. I don't know. But YouTube don't care. So I might as well take it to a place that is going to care about advertising you, me, and everybody in between.
There you go.
And so that's why I'm taking those ideas elsewhere. I know that irritates some people who want to come to YouTube specifically for the podcast, but here's why I go that road.
I was going to ask you this as well. Have you ever thought about incorporating sponsors to your podcast so you can make some profit?
Incorporating what into it?
Sponsors.
Oh yeah, that's one of the plans. But in order to be able to get stuff like that, you do need to have a certain degree of listenership before you can do that. And I'm still kind of up and coming, so yeah. I still need to get those numbers. But that's why I'm always trying to come up with new ideas that will bring, new people in.
Okay, there you go.
I just stopped doing that with YouTube because YouTube wasn't going to care. And
No.
therefore, when I was able to actually isolate an RSS feed, which I'm very thankful that I was, like, Libsyn's been amazing to be able to work with for all 3 of my podcasts. It's been able to work out so much better, and that's why I want to take so much content there. Because, you know, Libsyn, to me, gives a crap more than YouTube does.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for crying out loud, at the end, like, at any point, YouTube can literally look at my channel and go, "You just aren't that marketable," and they could shut us down.
Yeah.
So at that point, that's why I'm taking a lot of these steps, so that at that point, if they do that, I'm still up and running, and I don't need them to be able to do what I love.
Nice.
Whereas instead of having like this totally dependent relationship that a lot of people have with YouTube, I'm just saying, you know what? F you, I don't want to pay into you, and I don't like your business plan, so I'm taking my business elsewhere.
Elsewhere, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so in a lot of cases, I know where some people would benefit for. That's why I'm saying maybe the interviews might be on YouTube, but at some point they would leave YouTube because they would be on the RSS feed for a bunch of other people to be able to listen to and get access to your content or get introduced to you.
Right.
Because I've already talked to a few YouTubers who are interested, and I'm looking forward to being able to bring them into the mix and be able to do that and so much more this year.
Mm-hmm.
And all the while also making sure that, you know, I'm not dying from the strain.
There you go.
Because that's what's been the problem the last couple of years. So let's dodge that bullet, shall we?
Yeah, if you guys can dodge that.
I think you got cut off, Atlas.
Sorry. As long as you guys don't get hit somehow next time, that would be great, because you guys do such a great job at that podcast. And it's like, I like what subjects you guys think that should be talked about. Like as far as picking your topics, which ones do you most in general?
Which ones do I what in general?
What is your most favorite topics to talk about on your podcast that you think that should be talked about? The most.
That's a multi-pronged answer.
Because you guys do cover a lot of stuff. Like, you really do.
So, what do I like? What are the favorite stories that I like to dig up? Stuff that will make us laugh.
Yeah.
Stuff that'll make us laugh, because that's where a lot of people really start to have fun with the podcast, is when we're all enjoying the stupidity of others, so to speak.
Yeah. There you go.
The stuff that really benefits the listeners, I would say, is more along the lines of like being able to find anything where we can better ourselves. That's why in a lot of cases I love a lot of the discussions that we've gotten over the last year, just asking simple questions of how can I do this to be able to better my own life.
There you go.
And I know that a few people have taken it as like I'm trying to preach to people. I'm not. In my life, I take the Jean-Luc Picard approach to a lot of things, which is if we can do just that little bit to make ourselves better, then it's helpful.
There you go.
So that's what I try to aim for. Not to be high and mighty, but just because like I know that, you know, we all have these tiny little things here and there that we could all be able to learn from and be able to be better for. So I like those. The other ones, the other thing that I will say that, and it gets a lot of flack, and I'm so glad that the podcast has worked despite the flack, is the no politics rule.
I hate politics so much.
People don't realize there's a reason that formula works.
Yeah.
Because for every I'm just going to be honest. For every one person that complains about the fact that we're not willing to talk about the politics of something, there are 5 or 6 that don't want us to. Based on the premise that I have given, which is I have not made this podcast to talk about the events of the day. I've made this podcast to be something that you pick up at the end of the day. When you crack open your beer and you're just looking to wind down for the night. That's what I'm looking to make. I'm not trying to be the next Nightline or trying to be G4 or anything like that. I'm just trying to be me. That's all I care about.
Yeah, I miss G4. I miss the old days.
See, I kind of don't, but that's just because if G4 were done today, it would be a pale comparison of what it was.
Oh yeah.
Simply because I don't trust any media organization to be able to do it right. But hopefully that answers your question to an extent. Is the stuff that I enjoy being able to get is stuff that will help entertain as well as enlighten, and be able to have people look at things from a different perspective.
Gotcha.
Because sometimes in modern day media, you don't get both perspectives. You get one, and that's it.
Only one, yeah.
And you're stuck with that one, and that's what you have to deal with, and it sucks. I completely agree. It sucks. Oh, jeez. Okay, how am I gonna make this work? Oh! I know how I'm gonna make it work. All right, haha. I'm smart.
Good job.
See, guys, I told you, I'm smart.
I'm gonna find some.
Oh, okay. Well, I just had my game saved. Oh, hold on. What the hell? Okay. This is boss fight, I'm guessing. Oh, okay. Concentration time. All right, where are you? Oh, okay. I promise I will get to the valuable conversation in a minute as soon as evil plant thing dies. There we go. It's dead. And therefore...
There's a lot of evil plant characters.
Yeah, nature's out to get this little guy. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Nature's out to get this little guy. Poor guy. But yeah, hopefully that answers a lot of the sad questions that I do get. Is like, why don't you cover this? Because I don't want to. Like I said, the only way I'm going to cover Donald Trump is if somebody is in a Sailor Moon costume at his rally.
That would be funny to watch.
And it's happened.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've reported on it. Or the guy who jumped the White House fence trying to get a Pikachu in Pokemon Go. That's the extent of what you're going to get when it comes to political coverage.
Yeah.
Or actually that's a lie. The extent of political coverage will be like when it actually affects gaming, or when it affects music lovers or anime fans or stuff like that, because that's what we have control of.
Yeah.
We can't help everybody, but we will try and help as best as we can. Let's put it that way. Oh, this is... Oh, I'm having Celeste flashbacks. Okay. Oh, all right. Well, ow! Well, that didn't work out so well. Ow!
Things are just not going for you, aren't they?
Dude, this world is just out to get this little guy. I don't know whose cup of beer he pissed in, but he did. And by darn it, he will regret it.
You'll get him back.
There we go. All right. Nature finds a way. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed out on a Jeff Goldblum line. Give me a second, Atlas. Life finds a way. Jeff Goldblum,
Cool.
everybody.
Yes.
Speaking of, no, I will never watch that show, people. Stop asking. So, Jeff Goldblum has a show on Disney Plus. Did you know that?
Yeah, I saw.
I will never watch The World According to Jeff Goldblum. I'm not interested.
No.
Ow. Now I'm back again. Dang it. Ah, crap. Okay.
I need to minimize this because I'm
See, at least Atlas right now is enjoying a lot of unique scenery. I'm kind of just seeing the same stuff.
Yep.
I'm okay with it. I mean, it's cool art, so can't necessarily knock it.
Art is amazing in its own way.
Art is what you want it to be.
Yep.
Like, I mean, I don't know how many anime fans were mad at me when I did 12 Days and I didn't incorporate Eren Yeager.
Eren Yeager.
I'm not a fan of Attack on Titan. I'm glad you are. I'm glad you got your $40 worth for paying for a season.
Oh yeah.
But he's not for me because I've seen way too many post-apocalyptic worlds, and I'm not really looking to invest into another.
Hey Drake, can you send me your email address?
Yeah. As soon as I'm out of the stream, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. Because I want to send you a podcast that explains more about Miku and the software, the Vocaloid software in general. Because they do a better job than I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, the problem is that my my point of reference for Miku is you and my buddy Aldo, who used to be part of the podcast as well. Like, you guys are the ones that knew everything about it. And unfortunately, Aldo got busy with other stuff, so he couldn't help me out as much.
Oh. Does Aldo have a Discord or what?
I'm not sure if he does or not. He used to do a bunch of podcasts. Now I think work constraints have made it so that he's had to cut down a lot.
Gotcha, okay.
Real life intervened, and so it makes sense. I mean, when he was doing the Geek News podcast, he was doing about 3-4 others.
Mm-hmm.
Just being a guest on various ideas, like movie reviews, things like that.
Yeah.
And when I met him, he was the game reviewer for the college newspaper. So like he would be the guy that would go and play Pokemon and tell people whether or not it was a good idea to get it.
To get it or not, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
So he's the way that I understand it, because him and me don't talk that often, is he's just been busy, and life has taken a different turn for him, and so at that point he's had to reprioritize things.
Oh, okay.
Which I totally applaud him for, and like the last thing I want to do is have him killing himself on my podcast. That would be the antithesis of what I would want him to do.
No.
But yeah, he was the other one that knew really anything about Miku or anything like that. He was a fan, and so he would be able to answer some questions here and there, but
yeah,
not everything.
Mm-hmm.
Ow! Okay, let's see if I can actually do this. Yep. Ow, no! Oh! I have to do all that over again.
So hot in this game today, are you?
What was that?
You're not doing so good in this game tonight, are you?
No, I'm having kind of a bad night, but I've made a couple of scrapes work.
Over here. That's just amazing.
What was that?
It's already 10:05 p.m. over here.
Oh yeah, and it's actually a little bit past 11 here. And actually, oh dang it. Okay, yeah, I probably actually better call it 10 minutes early. I hate to do it, guys, but kids are insisting on not going to bed. So Daddy's got to go in and be daddy and make sure that they go to bed. So once again, thank you, Atlas, for joining me on tonight's stream. Man. It was awesome, even though we were playing two completely different games. Who knows?
Yeah, it was so good.
Maybe at some point we will actually have to get Gran Turismo Sport and just play for a night and just have some fun looking at the countryside.
If you can get it, I think it's like what, $20 right now. If
Oh.
you can grab it, go for it. And then we'll play and we'll have some fun.
Yeah, I'll check tonight. Well, actually, can I? No, I can't. I can't because it's off in the other room. I will check tonight and see if I can get it, and then at that point, you and I can like plan something out and just go have like a scenic night instead of Ori in the Blind Forest. But
Oh yeah, for sure.
once again, thank you so much, Atlas. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and giving your opinions on the various things that we've talked about tonight. Just to give another reminder, tomorrow we will be back with another Geek News Reviews and Opinions podcast at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube. So you guys can be able to join us live. We're not going to delay it again because of sickness. Saturday, we will be doing Dark Souls 2 again. And then Sunday, we are going to be doing... I'm not sure on the time. We might have to do a different time, but we are going to do World of Final Fantasy again. And right around to Tuesday, where we're going to be doing Death Stranding again. So you guys are more than welcome to join us at any of those. And until then, we will see you guys next time. Parting words, Atlas.
All I have to say is peace out. See you next week. If I'm not busy, then we're good.
Exactly. Have a good night, everybody.
I got the stream like on mute, so that way there's like no echo. All right, let's see here.